Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro. It's time for the Q&A, where we answer your Q's.
We give A's.
This was supposed to happen a month ago. Many of you are asking yourselves every day, when is the
You're
Q&A
pissed off,
coming?
you unsubscribed, we understand.
I'm not the brightest bulb in the bulb box. I deleted the footage, and it was an accident. And it sucked, and I was upset too, so if you think that I was just not caring about your feelings, you just think about my feelings, because I didn't like deleting the video.
Now he's okay, he's recovered. It just shows you what resilience is and what it means, and that you can also be resilient too. In honor of the Q&A, I'm gonna you're gonna get to know me and my personality. And my personality, that's why I'm wearing this shirt today, Angry Birds here. I thought, what better shirt to represent who I am than wearing Angry Birds on my shirt. This is my ball, my Angry Birds ball. And it just goes to show something about me. You've learned a lot about me from me wearing this shirt.
If you have a differing opinion on the birds, please leave it out of the comments, it'll upset him. Now we're getting up close and intimate in this video, so maybe even play it on your TV so you can see us in the biggest way. There are a lot of movie questions. Unfortunately, I don't have on the top of my head a top 5 for everything.
Also, contrary to popular belief, we have not seen every movie. So when I make like my top, where's this? I just have not seen all the movies. I'm so sorry.
I've seen about 50 movies.
Here's an inevitable question. Are you guys twins? Yes, we are identical twins. If not, what's the age difference between you? Well, there's no if not, because we are in fact twins.
You two look so much alike. Probably agree with that.
Legend has it, we look alike. Our age, 24, we're almost 25. Did that surprise you? Did we look younger than you thought we were? Comment below.
Most likely. I stopped aging like 4 years ago. What's a classic/essential movie you're ashamed you've never seen? I have not seen The Godfather Part 2. I have not seen any Indiana Jones movies. I haven't seen most Star Wars movies. I haven't seen any Robert Altman movies.
I haven't seen Star Wars 5. I've seen a lot of classics, actually, like the classics. I mean, there are a lot of classics I haven't seen, but I don't experience shame. So I actually can't say that I'm ashamed that I'm having not seen those movies.
I'm proud of the movies that I haven't seen, and a piece of me will be gone once I see them. Do you guys do YouTube and watch and review movies as a hobby, or is this your line of work? You know, I know that it's a common misconception.
It's a funny question almost.
They watch the videos and they think, these are so good, they must be getting money from them.
We don't really make much money at all off of YouTube. So it is a hobby, but it's something that we want to grow, and hopefully it could be a greater source of income, but for the most part, it's a hobby.
Are you in the show business?
I don't know what the hell that means.
I'd consider myself in show business, folks.
I show up with a glass of wine and a bow tie to a few mansions here and there. And I talk with industry folks. Who are the industry folks? Nobody knows. It's a very secret society.
Doesn't matter what's under the blazer as long as the blazer's on.
And I'm making business deals. I'm making deals everywhere I go. $1 million? Sure. $1 million? Sure. I'll take that. Oh, you want to give me $1 million? Then I can do that too. We can make that happen.
Broadway, Hollywood, showbiz, baby. That's the business.
We're selling to Chinese markets. We're selling to Bollywood.
I make deals in my convertible. I pull up and I shake hands with people on the sidewalk. You've got a deal, sir. You've got a deal, sir.
And I have a big wad of cash I walk around with. Hey, you in showbiz? Great. Here's a couple hundred. Let's make this a deal.
Favorite actor of all time?
You'd have to put Daniel Day-Lewis in there. I put Frances McDormand in there. I'd put Marlon Brando.
Philip Seymour Hoffman for sure.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Jack Nicholson's great.
I just like you if you're good in a movie.
I don't really stand.
We don't stand a lot. Michael Fassbender. Kate Winslet is pretty great. Olivia Colman's pretty exciting when I hear about her being in movies.
Anthony Hopkins, love a good Natalie Portman performance.
Viola Davis is amazing in everything. Octavia Spencer also.
Most heartbreaking and emotional Oscar-winning performances.
We got Monique and Precious. Julianne Moore and Still Alice. I actually really like Still Alice. Frances McDormand in 3 Billboards. How can you not? How can you not?
Emma Stone in La La Land, actually, for sure, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Hilary Swank in $1 Million Baby, like, obviously, that's one.
Eddie Redmayne in Theory of Everything. I honestly really liked that performance, even though I didn't love that movie.
I would say Sean Penn in Milk and Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart are very touching performances. This person has a question for just Brother Bro, so I'm gonna zip it. And
you can actually leave the room, and I'll answer it privately.
All right, here you go.
Where do you draw your inspiration for your questions at the end of each video for us to answer? This actually should be a question for both of us because we both ask questions at the end of videos. We draw inspiration from the now. We draw it from the present moment. What's the movie title? Is there a pun that can be made? And is there a way to make that pun interactive with my audience? A very brilliant process. With the gears turning in my mind, I'm not even sure how I do it myself. I'm back.
I was covering my ears on that one, and once I get to this question in editing, I'm going to hand the computer over to you so you can edit that part, and I'll never hear it in my life.
Favorite movie of the decade is a question where I would need to compile like a big list and then watch all the movies in that list in order to like confidently answer this question.
We'll give it a go. Tree of Life and Arrival would definitely say that those are like probably competitors for the number one spot. Marriage Story and Portrait of a Lady on Fire, I would say, are like...
You put those up there?
I'd consider those maybe top 10. Gravity was great. I know people will disagree. You can get pissed off if you'd like to.
I'll just give you like a big ass list because I'm not gonna be able to do these top 5 specific stuff. Parasite, Marriage Story, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Arrival, Tree of Life, Uncle Boonby Who Can Recall His Past Lives, Mr. Turner, Whiplash, La La Land, Phantom Thread, Annihilation, 8th Grade, fuck it, Krisha, Get Out.
Yeah. I have a list here, actually. I attempted to compile a lot of top 50, so I'll read some of these. I think Waves would definitely belong somewhere around the top 20, honestly.
Just rattle them off.
Florida Project, Swiss Army Man.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I really liked Margaret when I watched it later, the Kenneth Lonergan's Margaret. Call Me By Your Name's great, Wolf of Wall Street. Perhaps First Man, Black Swan, Phantom Thread and the Master, Anomalisa, Separation, Ex Machina, Her.
I also really like Don't Think Twice.
Yeah, Don't Think Twice is pretty great.
Yeah.
I watched that in an improv class in college for the second time, and I liked it even more.
Really?
I think it's a really great movie for people.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie if you're in your 20s, and it's just about figuring, especially if you're in the creative environment. You can definitely relate to it.
Yeah, it's very, very down to earth. Swiss Army Man's also one that I really freaking liked. It made me feel unreasonably emotional watching it, which is a great feeling to have. Oh my god, why am I feeling so touched by this movie that in so many ways it shouldn't be that, but it is.
How many film festivals have you attended, and what are some of your favorite experiences? I went to Sundance. That was pretty much the main festival experience that I've had. We saw 3 screenings at New York Film Festival, but we live around there, so it was just kind of going to a theater that was more expensive and early. Sundance was a really, really great experience.
I think we definitely want to keep going to Sundance. We want to go to TIFF. I think we hit those 2 and then New York Film Festival. So I think we'd probably try to hit those 3 throughout the years, just going forward.
Did you guys go to film school? If so, which one, and was it worth it? So we did go to film school. Graduated. I have a degree in the visual media arts. What does that mean?
Very much professional.
We went to Emerson College in Boston. Was it worth it? That's a great question.
In what way? I think film school doesn't exactly prepare you for jobs. A lot of people probably had that experience, but you prepare yourself for jobs. So if you go to film school and you do lots of work, you come out with a great portfolio, then you might very well be prepared to do real work. But just going to film school, getting the degree does not prepare you for jobs. I spent a good chunk of film school actually trying to make films that I wanted to make. And so that part was definitely worth it. I had some great years, but I also felt like a lot of film school didn't need to happen for me. I think it attempts to teach you how to watch films and be more open-minded about it, but that's something that you will cultivate for yourself. It can be worth it, but you have to be a specific person who's very driven to do just that and to make a career out of it before you spend all the money that film school costs.
Film school hasn't necessarily taken me that far in itself. I also wasn't someone who made the most of it. I just kind of did the school, I guess. I had a good time. I definitely liked going there. Being in the environment of film for 4 years of college, that's an experience. You definitely learn what you like and don't like. Everyone goes into film school wanting to be a writer-director, and a lot of people come out, maybe knowing a lot about what they don't want to do. In film school, I found that I don't really love being on set that much. The, high pressures of, writing large projects and, directing stuff isn't, my favorite thing. I like this. I like, doing my own project, being able to edit it by myself. I kind of like that stuff.
You like working with your friends, not strangers.
Yeah. It'll definitely help you figure out what kind of person you are in that environment. You should definitely be concerned about having a lot of debt because film school is expensive and it doesn't get you a great job most of the time. What are some good movies to watch if I'm entering film school? Well, don't go on a binge and watch Hitchcock and Orson Welles. But that's what you're just going to see. I also think that it's important for people to watch lower budget movies because if you write space shit in college, like you're never going to be able to make it. It's good to be able to know of movies that do a really good job on like lower budgets.
You should watch as many different kinds of movies as you can. You should go pumpkin picking and get as many different shapes as possible. So you should watch a mumblecore film like The Puffy Chair. You should watch foreign films. You should watch black and white films from the 40s. Watch like a Lars von Trier film. Watch like stuff that's just different and kind of out there, like with a completely different style. Just expose yourself to different styles, and then you'll be able to contextualize everything you view from then on as like, you know, sort of borrowing from this or that. You want to be looking out for the films that people are like regarding as like highly influential for film or like milestones.
What do you do? What do I do?
Is this like a career question? I think that's a career question.
I don't care what it is.
But like when I'm sleeping, I sleep. So that's also what I do. I sit, I talk to the cameras, present tense.
But ultimately, I do me. I'm just doing me, bro.
Just doing you.
In terms of earning cash, I do editing and I work for a media company at the moment. So that's what I do.
I also did editing and producing for a media company, but now I'm sort of switching gears. I'm trying to transition into some software development and see if that's something I want to do. I'm going to be a coder. I'm going to try it out, make some Kahootchi, try to make the film stuff work on the side, build everybody a nice big website for Oscar stuff.
How and when did your interest in film start? This is interestingly concrete for both of us.
Very like, so, this is how.
Preteen years, I was a normal film goer. I would just watch movies casually. I liked comedies. I liked the Will Ferrell stuff. I liked Step Brothers a lot. I liked horror movies. I did like The Shining. I didn't know anything about that being Kubrick or whatever. I just liked The Shining.
Yeah, there's some like gateway films. I feel like people are very familiar with that idea. I don't know if they use the term that widely, but my main gateway film, I was just browsing movies like very late at night on like VOD. I stumbled upon a movie that I thought was going to be a horror movie title, There'll Be Blood. I watched it and I was like, that was excellent, and I don't know why it was so much better than anything else I've ever seen. Like, movies were here, and then I had movie enlightenment, and then suddenly, like, this movie gave me, like, an elated experience that I just had no idea that a movie could give you. It was like I had been on an all-carb diet, and then suddenly somebody gave me, like, a nectarine or something, and it was just like, oh, this is juicy. And then I was like, Cole, you need to fucking watch this movie.
Didn't we watch it at the same time?
Nope. I finished it right here, and then I told you about it. You watched it, and you understood exactly like what I had, like you knew. Because and then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, this is on the top 250 of IMDb. Like, they must understand. Like, they must know that this is good. Like, people were calling it a masterpiece. So then I just started following like what people were talking about. I was 14 years old. That's how I got obsessed with movies. It was that simple. Thank you, Paul Thomas Anderson, for that.
A lot of people watch movies like as I did. You just chase the endorphins. Like, is it scary? Is it funny?
Yeah.
You have to reinterpret. You have to go, it's not going for basic things. It's going for like a tone and a mood. And the pacing is like artful too. Watching an actor like be that into it makes you think differently about acting.
Like, I remember I thought he was like kind of a nice guy in the beginning because he was like a friendly oil man with like a nice friendly mustache. And then just seeing that, like seeing who he really is, seeing all of that come out was like, whoa.
What other interests do you guys have besides movies and Oscars? I thought you'd never ask because clearly this is my only interest and this is all I do. I just absorb movies and information about the awards, and then I come in front of the camera, I spew it, and I go back to being a deflated ball.
No, I'm sort of a vapid void of a person as well, you know. I've just, ever since my repressed past, which I can't even remember, it's nothing buzzing up here. I don't even hear my own thoughts. No, other interests, it's not like an interest, but I am trying to do like some web development stuff. And I do want to build a website for this YouTube channel. I also play piano. I enjoy classical music along with that. I like me some good music theory. Like, I'm interested in music in that way, although I weirdly enough don't listen to that much music. Is that weird? I don't know. And I watch a lot of YouTube stuff. I like digging into politics. I like learning about stuff that I don't know. I just go through different phases of liking to learn about different stuff. And I like hanging out with my friends. I like spending time with friends.
Before doing this channel, I used to make some comedy videos. I did some improv like training with UCB and stuff like that, and that's fun. I like doing that. I like writing comedy sometimes. I was in like the satire like newspaper at school, and that was fun to make dumb articles. I like music. Like most people, I do listen to music sometimes. I definitely like stuff that, veers towards experimental. I like artists like Tim Hecker. Flying Lotus is great. Animal Collective, I like Radiohead. Sophie, 100 Gex, like that stuff's
100
great.
Gex, love 100 Gex.
Dan Deacon, Andy Stott,
Yeah.
Juliana Barwick, I like some ambient.
I like all that music too. I don't listen to it as much, but I do love that music.
Just stuff that like tickles my ears, sounds weird and unfamiliar. That makes me excited.
Yeah.
Have I ever solved a Rubik's Cube? I've solved it by like looking up how to solve it, which there's no other way to start off solving. I've tried to solve it blind.
I think this question is really like an IQ test. Like, is my IQ above 150? And the answer is yes.
People are going to think that because a lot of people think their IQ is above 150.
It's obviously a joke. This person's testing me. They're like, have you ever solved a Rubik's Cube? How are you qualified to have me listen to you if you haven't solved a Rubik's Cube? No, I haven't solved a Rubik's Cube. I haven't looked up the instructions and I don't know how to do it.
Most shocking Oscar moment? I would maybe say Olivia Colman winning Best Actress. I was just convinced that Glenn Close would win, but I would also say Bong Joon-ho winning Best Director was like...
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more surprised. And also the Best Director win, people say, why are you reacting more to Best Director than Best Picture? It's like, because that's when I knew it was winning Best Picture.
And you knew that not only was Parasite winning Picture, it just fucking won Director too. So now you have Parasite sweeping the Oscars. Like, it's amazing. I still watch Parasite winning the Best Picture Oscar just to make myself feel good. I'll be like, oh my god, I love this so much, and like I feel like the energy and the emotion every single time I watch it on YouTube. It's just still the most glorious moment.
Wait, we didn't even mention it was Moonlight beating La La Land. We forgot about that.
That's true. Much more surprising than Parasite. Yeah, that was an absolute shocker. That was a lot of screaming.
Yeah, I thought there was a prank.
You went to fucking bed.
I went to bed.
We were in a dorm. He was upstairs, and I had to tell him, like, Cole, Moonlight won Best Picture, and he didn't believe me. He was like,
it was a great prank.
He said, you're lying. I was like, I'm not lying, you bitch. You need to get down here. You need to look at the screen. I'm not lying. And I convinced him to come down, but obviously he thought I was kidding. He thought I was just pulling a prank on him, and I wasn't.
Will you do Emmy predictions and reactions?
No.
I don't have time for TV. Like all of my watchingness is pretty much reserved for movies. I've seen some TV. TV is very enjoyable, but it takes a long ass time to finish one show. So I can't imagine like having to watch like 15 shows to keep up with the Emmys.
And then on top of that, your content doubles because you're making videos reviewing shows and show season. Doing videos and editing them already takes like your free time for several days of the week.
Favorite TV show? I watch like a staggeringly low amount of TV. Like I said, TV is probably great. I know we're in a golden age and I'm missing out on a bunch of shit. Like I've seen Breaking Bad.
Let's catch up later.
So I've seen some of the great stuff. I haven't seen Game of Thrones. Like I haven't seen like most shows. I will watch shows like, for comedy purposes, like big Tim and Eric fans right here. Love Awesome Show. It's like easily like one of my favorite shows ever. Nathan For You.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed Louie when it was on, for sure.
Like True Detective, is great.
Season 1.
Yeah, season 1. And I'm currently watching Breaking Bad finally because I'm so bad with TV that I haven't even seen that. So it's a quarantine goal of mine to watch Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad is just fantastic and I really love it.
Best Oscar ceremony you witnessed? It was when Parasite won, bro. Like, easily. What's your favorite way to watch movies? There's so many ways to watch a movie. You can watch a movie while riding your bike on your phone.
You can watch a movie, you close your eyes in your head and you remember it well enough, you can watch a movie in your head.
You can watch movies on airplanes. I just watched The Color Purple on an airplane. It was
that's not a good movie watching experience.
Could be. I've seen movies on airplanes that I thought were very good. They say that watching movies on planes makes you more emotional. So you'll have like a more intense emotional experience if you watch a movie on a plane.
I mean, I like watching movies in the theaters, but I'm also not someone who's like, if we didn't get to watch movies in theaters, there would just never be a way to experience movies. Like, yeah, there'd be other ways. I mean, Watching at home, you can have a good experience.
Do not make fun of people for going to the theater alone. It's a great experience. They're having a good time, and they're very intense about seeing movies.
Yeah, I see movies alone all the time. Going after work to see a movie is freaking great.
What's your must-have during a screening? I assume this means food, and I am not a food eater when it comes to going to the movies.
Mainly it's because of the money thing, but like to me it's also a little sacrilege to like eat food while you're watching a movie because I feel like it's taking away the experience of watching it. Unless you're like really fucking hungry, like I will just sneak a granola bar or banana into the movie and eat that. Like, but I'll shove it down because I'm not trying to savor my food while I'm watching a movie. It's just that I'm not distracted by my own hunger.
You know, you can get confusing because your brain releases the same chemicals for a bunch of shit. So it's like, do I like it because the butter is melting in my mouth? Or do I like it because the cinematography is beautiful? Like, I just don't know because I'm eating. Who is that we hear screaming in the background in your Oscar reactions video? This is a great question.
Well, the twist here is that it's actually a male friend of ours. And people are saying that girl is annoying. He likes to scream with a very high pitch. That's our friend. That's our buddy.
Top 3 A24 movies. I think I have an answer to this.
PreShow, Swiss Army Man, Last Black Man in San Francisco, maybe.
I would have The Florida Project on there. I would probably have Waves on there. Swiss Army Man. I'll go with Swiss Army Man. Name one movie you never get bored watching and a movie you go back to most often. For me, if I watch a movie over and over again, the effect kind of dwindles. You know, even my favorite movies, like I've seen some of my favorite movies like 2 or 3 times. Like I've only seen Close Encounters of the Third Time once. Not knowing what was going to happen was an integral part of my experience watching that movie. So I'm almost positive I wouldn't have as great of an experience the second time. So I just won't watch it again for a while because I want to preserve that, I guess. When I was small, 5 and under maybe, I used to watch movies 100 times. Sure, we've all had that experience. Scamper the Penguin, classic Milo and Otis. You know, who doesn't love Milo and Otis? Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey.
The Little Engine That Could, I remember that one.
Favorite musical of all time? I know we're
La La
just
Land.
being Letterboxd film Twitter people, but La La Land, I'm sorry. Favorite animated feature film? Probably Spirited Away. As far as Pixar goes, like probably WALL-E. And then those, probably Anomalisa.
Yep, that was my thoughts exactly.
A film that you really wanted to like, but just didn't connect with you. Roma comes to mind.
Yeah, maybe A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Also Booksmart. I did not really like Booksmart, and everybody else loved it, so I felt like very a little isolated about that.
It's okay, buddy.
Yeah, it's all right.
Everyone needs a pat on the back sometimes, you know?
Sometimes I'm just like, why did everybody like this? I just don't get it. And The Five Bloods was kind of like that too, honestly. Some people were like really hyping it up, and you know, here's me thinking, was it all that? Because you know, it was a little weird to me.
If you had an opportunity to make a big budget film, what kind of film would you like to make? It's called Big Animals the Movie. We're talking big CGI animals, okay? The biggest CGI you've ever seen. A future where one of every animal, it's like Noah's Ark divided by 2, grows in massive size, okay? And every animal must fight another animal. And if you beat the animal, that animal becomes even bigger. So it's like brackets. Every time there's a fight, there's also a song about animals fighting. They have big fucking
So there's no lyrics to the
nasty bass
songs.
drops. So it'll be like about the animals and it'll be like dog versus cat, the ultimate duo.
Wait, so there is lyrics.
Lyrics.
There are lyrics.
There are lyrics. The animals are not singing though. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. I get that. I like
then-
that the animals don't talk.
But eventually the animals get very big and they're like, you know, racing along the Great Wall of China, which obviously has to be giant to do. They're hopping from planets to planets. So planets are like
big-ass
bouncing
budget.
under their weight. Yeah, it's going to be really
James
good. And then
Cameron couldn't pull off such a feat. Even
No,
you would surpass him in the box.
we're talking
office.
$1 billion budget, folks.
That would definitely be a movie. Like, it'd be hard not to see that movie. You know.
It would be really good and it would win all the Oscars. Have you ever thought of doing your own awards at the end of the year? It's pretty much a top 10 list, is it not?
Yeah.
Like it's like what the Oscars do. Like they'll take the movies that are in their best picture favorites and they'll just like drag and drop them like in other categories that belong. Like that's what I would do.
I wouldn't necessarily make the Oscars what my top 10 is. And I also think Best Picture should be full of movies that will open people's views of like what a movie can be, but also be able to reach a lot of people. And not every film I love is going to be able to reach a lot of people. I can acknowledge that.
Would you do a retrospective on Avatar vs. Hurt Locker or Spotlight vs. Big Short? We get a lot of requests for different retrospectives. We're glad you enjoy the retrospectives. If this channel is around long enough, you'll have a retrospective for every goddamn
But what about
year
the boring
possible.
years?
Eventually, you'll have every goddamn
We'll
year.
just run out. Yeah.
Just run out. I think the reason that we haven't done really recent ones is because I was kind of like conscious for these. A lot of times when we do these retrospectives, I see movies that I hadn't seen before. I learn things about the race that interest me. So like Spotlight versus Big Short versus Revenant is a really interesting year. But also, like, I was around for that, and I was screaming about that. And when The Big Short won PGA, I ran around the room, like, 4 times, and I didn't know what was happening. I was so confused.
Wait, you were, like, running around, and I was like, what happened? You were like, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. And I was like, where did you go? Like, you were screaming, like, down the hall, and then you had to come back, and then you were like, The Big Short. And I was like, what happened? Like, what is it? And it won the PGA, and you're just very happy because you like that movie a lot. Yeah, and I actually wish The Big Short won that year. I don't think Spotlight's all that.
What is your favorite sound?
Maybe cracking your fingers underwater.
The sound of you clicking that subscribe button.
I love the sound of children laughing. I like to go to the park by myself and just listen to that. Listening to the children laugh. One of them drops their ice cream, and the sound the ice cream makes when it hits the pavement.
The sound of someone jiggling a bag of M&Ms, because if I hear that, I'll come running. I'll come running.
I like the good sound of a tractor when you're just mowing down that corn.
I listen to hayride ambience. Why do you like the Oscars? It's the ultimate question, isn't it? Who the hell are they to tell me what the best film of the year is? I know what the best film of the year is.
Next question.
I think it's just like fun. Like it's for fun. I don't really take it like too seriously. I tend to like a lot of the Oscar movies, and I probably have similar tastes to Oscar voters. So it's like, if I'm going to be watching all these movies anyway, I'm curious to see how they'll compete against each other in an awards environment. It's just fun for me.
I actually think the Oscars are kind of important when they are able to nominate stuff that expands people's like range of what films they watch, and they're actually really good films. Like, how many people would have seen Moonlight if Moonlight didn't get awards buzz, if there was no awards season? Like, it's actually very important for some films. Like, did Bohemian Rhapsody need an Oscars boost? No, it didn't. But other films actually really benefit from having an awards season buzz around them. If you're a studio that wants to acquire like a really good film, and you can envision it as an awards film because, maybe you can make something really great out of it, that's more of a reason for the studio to want to take on your film. So the Oscars are great when they can actually like boost those films.
Oscar bait movie that I fell for The Imitation Game.
Yeah, King's Speech, definitely. I really like that. I like Green Book a lot, so for sure fell for that bait. I mean, even Bohemian Rhapsody on the first viewing, I watched part of it again on like video on demand, and I was like, oh, the editing, oh. But the first viewing, I was very like into that. Favorite directors, I'm a Terrence Malick guy. I also love Charlie Kaufman. Those are like directors that really like connect. I feel like I connect with them.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg, obviously.
Yeah. You can't not like Stanley Kubrick. I like all the directors that everybody likes.
Scorsese, obviously. Trey Edward Schultz, kind of. Like, he's just one of the people I'm most hyped about. Damien Chazelle, too.
Jordan Peele is also quickly becoming one of my favorite directors.
Do we collect Blu-rays or physical media?
Nope.
I'm not a collector. I don't have a Blu-ray collection. If you came to my house and you said, you're the Oscar expert, show me your movies, I would have nothing to show. I would go in my closet, and I would pull out and I'd be like, oh, wow, I didn't know we had Crash. It'd be like things that like my family had forever. It'd be like Monsters, Inc., Dinosaur from 2000.
The Incredibles, which everybody got in their Easter baskets one year.
That is my collection. And if you don't like it, then you can leave my house. Favorite movie scores. I kind of have a list, but it's from the decade, so it's not going to span all time. Obviously, Johnny Greenwood's stuff. I really like John Bryan's score for Synecdoche, New York. Under the Skin is a great score. Sicario and Arrival, Johann's scores. Gravity.
I mean, Hans Zimmer has some great scores.
Oh,
Time is a great piece of music from Inception, and Interstellar has like an amazing score.
And what about Blade Runner 2049?
He keeps surprising. He keeps doing new things that are really interesting. The Social Network, obviously that.
Annihilation.
Yeah, we have good taste in music. You can argue about that, but we have good taste in music.
I only like One Tricks Point Never scores for Good Time and Uncut Gems. Those are great to listen to.
The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yes.
Fucking E.T. Cole.
Oh, Beale Street Could Talk.
Psycho, Vertigo, the old ones. We know those are great.
Steve Jobs is a great score, and Daniel Pemberton with Snow.
Oh, Midnight Cowboy. Taxi Driver.
How do you get invited to movie festivals? Press accreditation. Accreditation?
I think accreditation sounds the best.
You just apply. You apply. And how do you get accepted? I guess you have to have a reason that you can go there and spread hype for their movie. For me, it was just like, oh, I have a personal audience. I didn't think I was going to get accepted, by the way. I thought this was like a super exclusive thing, and I'm nowhere like...
Yeah, we also thought like a print publication is what gets you in. But like not having that, we weren't going to like lie about it. We just tried to capitalize on the fact that we can reach a certain audience maybe on a different platform. And we played up that YouTube is a strength in a way. You reach an audience that you wouldn't necessarily reach otherwise. Maybe it's a younger demographic. And you can say like how many viewers you get, how many subscribers you have.
Yeah, but most of the time, publications will like, send a few writers out there to go see movies and review them. And
yeah,
stuff.
It just depends on like the reach you have, I guess. They have to kind of analyze that.
Pineapple on pizza?
Yeah.
Unquestionably, yes. Fuck you.
And you like everything on pizza. Like when you go to Blaze Pizza where they can put everything on it, he will put everything on it. Like he'll get like a mound. He gets a bang for his buck. You really can't blame him because you're combining pesto with tomato sauce, I believe, is something that you do.
And balsamic at the end. I get balsamic on it as well. And it's everything but meat. Fun fact about me, I do not eat the meat. I haven't eaten the meat for a few years for ethical reasons. There's nothing you can put pineapple with. It doesn't work.
What about pineapple with just a plain bagel? Pineapple's swimming in milk that you just eat with a spoon.
That one I don't like. You won. Favorite genre? Favorite movie of genre, I assume.
Don't have one. You would say that I'm biased towards dramas, though. Like, that's what a person would say. Oh, you like dramas. You like Marriage Story. You like dramas. So I guess, sure, like maybe I have a preference for dramas. But I really love like horror films when they're good.
Everything's good when it's good. Arrival and
sci-fi.
Annihilation type sci-fi.
Yeah. There's some genres that I'm especially excited for if I know a director is gonna like try to do something interesting with it. Those are usually genres that also have a lot of terrible movies in them.
But if I'm biased towards drama, which is probably true, it's because I like movies to give me an emotional experience.
And just like characters and things that are like more relatable, down to earth. I don't like period films in general though. But The Favorite was excellent. And I don't really like musicals, but La La Land was excellent, so there's always an exception to the rule.
And superhero action stuff is also not my favorite.
I definitely don't really like action films. Like, I'm not that big of a fan of Mad Max. I've had a hard time understanding how people are like so enamored with it. But that's also, I don't want to dismiss it because Mad Max is still a very good movie. I don't know why I don't like love Mad Max. I'm not really sure exactly what the reason is.
It's just like a lot. Are there any movies you don't like that everyone else loves? White God? I fucking hate White God. Animal allegory for like race where like dogs are treated like shit, but like we love dogs, like instinctively humans love dogs, so obviously like we're siding with the dogs. It's just such a one-dimensional movie. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked by watching it because it has like an 80 on Metacritic.
I don't hate this movie, but movies like The Wind Rises and Kubo and the Two Strings, where like a lot of people love them, and I find that the thing that prevents me from liking these movies a lot is they have protagonists that are just wonderful. They're just freaking wonderful. Everything's great about them. They want the right things. They're fighting for the right stuff. And like ultimately, like literally God is on their side to like help them achieve this thing. And movies like that, I just tend to like kind of check out on them because they're just like good people. They're just nice and they don't have like anything to overcome.
What do you think about the new Barbie movie? Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach are both involved in this movie, so I literally do not care what it is based on.
That sounds great.
That's fine. That's great. And Margot Robbie, if she's in it or whatever they're saying, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Margot Robbie can be on the list of my favorite actresses since we were talking about that.
How hard is it to separate personal preferences from your Oscar predictions? You definitely don't want to get caught up in like, oh, well, how could it, like, they not love this movie that much?
8th grade was something that, like, after we saw it, it was hard, for me, it was hard to see people not liking it the same amount. Do you think the current protests and movements will influence the awards and who is nominated? Well, the movies that are coming out are the movies that are coming out. So probably not that much. But it is definitely possible that it could influence it a little bit. People will be more likely to pay attention to certain films.
Like there's a movie coming out about Fred Hampton, for example, that like could benefit from that. When they invite new people to the Academy, though, they are diversifying it more, and they invite like 800 or 900 people a year. The more they diversify, though, like I think a more diverse voting body is more likely to support and champion films that come from like different voices. I think that's just like how it is. How's your cat doing? There's more than one cat, folks. There are 5 cats in this house. Not all the cats like this couch. That's just how it is, and it's unfortunate. We try to get the cats in here before the videos. Sometimes they don't stay. Nothing we can do about it. We're trying our best.
And some of them, they're in the videos, but they don't sign the release form, so we actually have to refilm the entire video or just crop them out. It takes a lot of visual effects to get the cat out of the shot.
And that concludes this Q&A. Perhaps there will be another in the future at some point, and you can ask
other questions that you're just itching to ask me and Brother Bro. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. What questions should you be asking yourself?